Okay, hey y'all. My name is Madison Savage, and I'm so honored to be on this call with y'all tonight. You have no idea how much this means to me. I recognize all of you could be in a million places right now, but what we really hope is that if you've been praying for answers, if you've been praying for some extra wiggle room in your life, whether it be in your finances or your time, whatever it may be, whether you're desiring even purpose or impact or community, if you're looking for some other like minded women, I hope that something that is shared tonight will resonate with you, that you just will feel something that hits home and walk away just feeling inspired and encouraged and all the things. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my story because I know we don't have a ton of time. So I'm Madison, obviously. I am 22 years old. I just got married last year to my husband, who I met at a Bible college in upstate New York. And I was actually introduced to Plexus in October of 2021, right when I came home. I was freshly engaged, and I had been searching for answers in my gut health. The whole time I was at college, I was a wreck. My digestive system was a mess. My brain fog was crazy, and I was just not feeling well at all. And little did I know, the person that I came in contact with at a brand new church, and I asked her to pray for my gut health, was a brand ambassador. Some of you may know her, Angela Patterson. And she shared with me what she had on her hands, and little did I know that would be one of the biggest blessings to my physical health, but also open up a door that would change the trajectory of my entire life. So, for starters, I can't help but mentioning the products absolutely changed everything for me. I had been on a journey of cutting out foods from my diet. Pretty much, I had tried every supplement out there, y'all. I had gone down so many different routes with different doctors, trying to find relief from this digestive thing and this fatigue. And they were just constants in my life. So, that in and of itself, finding relief from that was a huge blessing from heaven. Like, literally, I'm telling y'all. So, at this point in my life, I had just gone to Bible college and I was straight out of high school, or I had gone to high school and then went to Bible college with no real plan of a degree or pursuing any major or any type of career. So I was just kind of floating. I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew that I wanted something kind of outside the box. I wanted to help people. I wanted impact. I didn't really feel like the 9 to 5 life was for me. No hate on it, but personally, I felt like there was something different for me. And so I just knew I wanted to help people. I didn't know if it was ministry, going overseas, didn't know what that would look like. So when I was introduced to Plexus in this opportunity, and I found out I could help people for a living from my phone or from my desk or from the beach even, and actually help people get their quality of life back with their health and even offer them solutions in their finances, I was all in. And so the first time in my life, I was actually starting to dream big because I saw what this opportunity could really mean for me and my family. And I'm talking like not just dreaming, that I can have all my groceries, fill up a cart, and not have to worry about the bill. That's good too. But I was starting to dream really, really big. And had no idea what God had put in my heart and the things that would be actually unlocked because of this opportunity. And it wasn't until I was surrounded by this community of people who believed in me, who showed me what was possible, who have already paved the way for me to actually start believing it for myself. And so once I had gotten married, this was I had hit the rank of senior Ruby, which got me a comma in my paycheck. So that was a huge blessing. But it allowed also freedom and flexibility in our newlywed life because y'all know starting out young, the adulting life, it can be rough. And so just the fact that we had an extra stream of income was such a blessing. We've often looked at each other and just been like, oh my goodness, where would we be without this opportunity? And we also feel this like relief of, wait, we actually have big dreams for the future and we don't have to settle with where we're at right now. And we don't have to stay in this place for the next 10 years of our life trying to scrape up everything we can to maybe even buy a home. And so we've looked at each other and just like started to dream big, dreaming of traveling different places, of dreaming for our future children even, and the experiences and the opportunities we're going to be able to give them, dreaming to give abundantly from the overflow that's in our heart, but we're often hindered by what our bank account says. So just being able to give abundantly without even flinching at what our account says. So what I really, really love about this opportunity is I'm the kind of person that I do love prizes. I love trips. I love earning all the things. But even more than that, I mean, Plexus just, they come through with all of those things. Let me tell you, I mean, the bonuses, the trips that we've been on, I've gone to a couple different trips completely paid for by Plexus, a 5-star resort. I'm telling you, like, it's legit. But what I love even more is one motto that our CEO often says is we are blessed to be a blessing. And that is truly at the core of who we are, is helping other people to do and be and have all that God has for them and to dream beyond what they maybe have ever even thought about before. And that's what makes me come alive. I love being able to see other people have that light bulb moment of like, wait, this is possible. I can actually go and do these things, or I could travel, or I could take my dad on this trip that he's always wanted to go on, or whatever it may be. And so that's really what makes my heart come alive. So let me just tell you guys, there are a million thoughts that go through someone's mind when they start considering an opportunity like this. And I know I had a lot of them. Like, I don't want to be that girl, or what if I fail, or what if I don't have what it takes, or my social media doesn't look like that girl. Well, trust me, I've had all of those thoughts, all of them, and so much more. But every single person that's been successful here has had those same thoughts. I promise you, and even more. And so you're not alone. But I do encourage you guys to think big, think outside the box, and allow yourself to dream big, because what if this really could change everything for you and for your family? So that's just a snippet of what the Plexus opportunity has done for me. But I'm really, really excited to pass the mic to Jessica, who's going to be sharing her story next.
Hey y'all, my name is Jessica Newcomb and I'm a senior gold ambassador. And I'm actually a relatively new product user. I've only been using the products for about 6 months. And so I've only been an ambassador for about 3 months. I'm a mom of a 9-year-old little boy and a 2-year-old little boy. And I've been married to my high school sweetheart for almost 12 years. A little of my background is I have 10 years of experience in analysis and budgeting field with the Department of Defense, which I have to say defined me. That career was who I am. I had worked my way up the ladder on my own merit. Was given a very exclusive opportunity for the Air Force to pay for my master's degree from the University of Tennessee in 2018. And after my second son was born in 2021, God strongly started leading me to take a position at a small construction company as their CFO. So I could be closer to home. The job was only about 8 minutes from my house, so I was closer to home and I got to spend more time with my family. Although I was really excited about the opportunity, I was a bit deflated also. My value came from my title. I was a supervisor on Robbins Air Force Base in the complex business office. That had great merit in the Middle Georgia area. I mean, when you tell people that, it gave you rank, it gave you meaning and status. But the Lord started working on me. And before the Lord had started working on me, though, I would have never entertained anything in the MLM industry. Like, that was no go. I already have my status. I was working on my financial status. But at the end of the few minutes I have with y'all tonight, I'm going to share something that God's been working on me about, and it's really big and it's really exciting. So my Plexus journey is actually a little unique. I watched a really good friend of mine for over 2 years post about Plexus. I watched her journey. I knew her story in detail. I knew every Plexus trip she had been on and where she had went. I even knew what personality color her and her daughter was because she used that as a leadership tool. I watched intently to her. And I even hit the I want to know more button one time and had to ignore her because I wasn't ready for it. I was not getting involved in that. I had just done it by accident. And I literally ignored every message she sent until she sent something personal. But in January of this year, I was exhausted. The couch was my best friend. I'd started gaining weight. My inflammation was insane. Like, I literally felt like I had been hooked up to an air compressor. Like, The inflammation had just taken over and I couldn't stand what I saw in the mirror. So I messaged my friend and was like, okay, I've got to have it now. I can't go any longer. Just give it to me. Immediately, I loved the products. They were amazing. And it took me about 2 or 3 months to kind of get 100% on board with the business side. But while I was taking my dear, sweet, precious time, I had people praying for me. I had people cheering for me, and I didn't even know it. And I had no idea that the reason my mind shift was changing was because I had people praying for me. So the question I was asked that really got me to thinking about the business was, what would an extra $1,000 do for your family every month? And for me, it meant my son's private school tuition was paid. I didn't have to worry about that financial burden because that was a must for our family. That was a non-negotiable. He was going to private school, but it was a financial burden. So it would totally eliminate that burden. Well, in 3 months, I'm already at that mark plus more. So it's covered. Plus we have money to do other things. But through this amazing business opportunity and this amazing team, God has continued to work on me and give me the opportunity of dreaming big. God worked on my heart and mind and molded me from being someone that was defined by their career to a person who craved being at home as a wife and a mom. And I'd always been the breadwinner for our family. So it was never an opportunity. It was never on the table for that to be anything in my cards. But through Plexus, through the community that we've gained, and I say we because it's our entire family have gained this community. I was going to do this without crying. I've tried all day to do it without crying. But our whole family has gained this community, and we have been prayed for, and doors have been opened for my entire family. And just this week, I was able to leave my 9 to 5 and become a stay-at-home mom. So you ask, why Plexus? Because for me, it's making my dreams come true. It makes me feel my best, and it's given me the most amazing community that I will ever be able to find. So I have one thing to ask of everyone on this call tonight, and that is, when you start to pray tonight, ask God to open your eyes to the big goals, to the big dreams that He has for you, because there's a group of women here waiting with open arms to help you achieve those goals and those dreams. So come to us. We're ready for you. Even if you're not ready yourself, we're ready for you, and we'll help you get ready. So that's all I have for y'all. And I didn't do it without crying, but that's okay, because these people will cry with you and love on you even when you cry. So now I'm going to pass it to Haley.
Well, that is just awesome, Jessica. I'm so excited for you. So I'm Haley Birch, and I'm a Senior Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. I have also been married to my high school sweetheart for almost 8 years now. We have an 8-year-old little boy, a 4-year-old little boy, and then we have another little boy on the way that's coming in. Supposed to be October, hopefully going to be September. But anyways, my story with Plexus, I started the products in August of 2020. I said no to the opportunity for 2 months before I started sharing. It just was not something that I was interested in whatsoever. I had little to no self-belief that anything like this would ever be possible for me. But a friend just kept encouraging me and kept pushing me and kept just showing me what was possible. And I finally was like, hey, why not? Like, it's worked for all these other people. It could definitely work for me too. So in August of 2020, I hit my first rank, which was silver. And just my Plexus journey from there until now has been a little bit of a roller coaster, but it's been every bit of worth it. I really got serious about it in probably January of last year. I hit Senior Ruby in May of last year. So that gave our family just big, big dreams, a lot more opportunity than what we thought was possible with this. I was never one to dream before Plexus, because I mean, like all of these other women, I just thought that an 8 to 5 job was just normal. That's just what you did, as just a typical working woman. So I just never thought there was anything else out there for me. But in, let's see, January of this year, I was actually able to quit my 8-to-5 job, but I already had another job lined up at my 8-year-old's elementary school as a kindergarten parapro. So I went to work. I had a 2.5-week break in between that job and starting my new job. And I went to work there and I worked, throughout the school year. And me and my husband just got to talking and he was like, I really it really just works best for our family whenever you're at home. And I was like, before Plexus, I never would have thought that was possible because there was just no financial means for me to be able to stay home and not have a job. Like we were ones that lived paycheck to paycheck. I was checking the bank account before we went to the grocery store. I mean, I wasn't able to say yes to any of the things that I'm able to say yes to now. But thankfully, thank God, thank Plexus, thank my husband, I am officially a stay-at-home mom. So I don't have to miss out on anything with our newborn like I did with my other 2 babies. I had to leave both of them. Of course, whenever I was 6 weeks postpartum to go back to work. And now I don't have to do that. I don't have to miss out on anything. Family time is huge to me. My family is my whole entire world. My boys are what drive me to keep going every day, which I'm sure all you other mamas understand that completely. And I'm just so thankful and so blessed to be able to just enjoy every little moment and savor every little moment with my kids right now and our new baby that's coming. I'm able to spend so much more time with my husband. Our oldest son plays travel ball, which y'all know if you're a ball mama, you know how expensive that is. So I'm just I've always prayed to be like a yes mom since I had kids. And thanks to Plexus, I've been able to say yes to more than I ever thought that I would be able to say yes to. We're able to take our kids places. Like I said, my oldest is able to play travel ball, which is outrageous. And it's just been a huge blessing to us. So if you do not think this is possible for you, please get that out of your head right now, because all of us, I can assure you, thought the same exact thing. None of us thought this was anything, even in our wildest dreams. And we've all made it possible. So just work hard, set your goals, go after them, and it will be way more than worth it. And I am passing the mic to our lovely diamond leader, Christina, and she'll finish us out.
Hey, y'all. Well, first of all, I love everything that you girls said. And the reason that this event was put together was so that you could hear from different people in different walks of life. So we've got young newlyweds with no kids yet. We've got professionals. We have people who have wanted to be stay-at-home moms and people who have always assumed they would be working forever. And so we just wanted to pull different stories together because actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. My name's Christina, and I am your friend. No, that's what John Maxwell says, and I've decided I'm going to borrow his phrase. But seriously, y'all, I'm so excited that y'all are here tonight because every single person who you see being successful in some capacity has been exactly where you're sitting, where they've got 2 different voices in their brains. One's going, what if this could be for me? Like, what if I could figure it out? What if I could be bringing in an extra $500 a month or $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month? Like there's that voice in your brain. We all have it. I mean, we've been dreaming since we were born, right? Dreaming of what I was going to be when I grew up and of my wedding day and whatever. So we've been dreaming, but we've learned to dial that down because the voice that tends to get dialed up, that tends to be the loudest, is the one that says, no, you shouldn't. You probably can't. It's not for you. There's, you don't have what it takes. There's some sort of it factor that you're missing. And so that voice tends to be louder. And I'm here to tell you the only thing that is going to determine whether or not you can be successful here is what is between your ears, whether you're able to dial down that fear and dial up the belief. That's the only difference, you guys. And it's proven. You can go Google this. The number one performance indicator in any high performer in any industry regardless of age, gender, race, background, qualifications, does not matter. The number one performance indicator is simply the belief that it can be done. And I started right where you are with the idea of maybe I could do this, but then fear. I'm a school teacher by trade. So I definitely didn't grow up hoping one day to be wealthy, right? Nobody goes into education thinking, I'd like to make a lot of money. We go into education thinking, I'd like to have massive impact. And so that was me. I taught 4th and 5th grade for almost a decade here in Georgia. I have 4 kids, all ages, all stages. I have grown all the way down to starting kindergarten. And so I just 8 years ago, when this opportunity became an idea in my brain, there was a lot of fear. And there was also a lot of hope. And hope is a powerful thing if we will dial it up. So you might have jumped on this event tonight just simply trying to appease a friend or hoping to come find some reason that would disqualify you from being successful. But what I want you to know is there is no it factor. You have different personalities, extroverts, introverts, professional stay-at-home moms, those who are young, those of us who are not so young. I mean, you guys, I have a kid who is grown. But it doesn't matter. We have people on our team in their 60s and their 70s. We have people on our team in their teens. So just know, whatever is your situation, there's someone within our team who has used that situation as a reason to move forward and not an excuse to be held back. So I jumped in with the products and I loved them. I knew that we were the sickest, most over-medicated, most overweight nation on the planet. I knew that everyone that I knew was going to be introduced to these products by someone. And I knew that my family could benefit if I were just the one willing, if I were willing to put myself out there and learn some skill sets that maybe I could start being that yes mom. So I was teaching full time, had just had our 3rd baby, and we had ideas of expanding our family further, but it's 12 weeks of unpaid leave every time you have a baby. It's daycare cost every time you have a baby. I already had 2 older kids who were going into that middle school phase where, you know, they get extracurriculars and, like Haley said, travel teams and competition cheer. And what I knew was looming was cars and car insurance and proms. And as an educator, there weren't ever going to be ways that I could teach harder to make more money to cover those expenses. And so instead of seeing the future and being excited, I saw the future and felt pressure and stress because our expenses were going to continue to increase. But I didn't see a way for my income to increase. I already had 2 graduate degrees. I was already making the most I could make as a teacher. But you guys, I love my life. I loved my life as a teacher. We made the most of every single opportunity. We loved to travel and do all the things. And I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. So instead, what was happening is debt was compounding, which further led to more pressure, right? Pressure, stress, and not a lot of belief that it would ever be different. So if that's you and you're like, man, I have these needs, but I don't know if I'm cut out for it. What I would ask you is, if your life looks exactly the same 5 years from now, will you be okay with that? Listen, if the answer is yes, you do you, like, good for you. But if the answer is no, let me let you in on a secret. There have been several of us in this company, in this team, who have been willing to fail forward, learn some skills, figure out some things that work. And you have an opportunity to join one of the fastest growing and highest paid teams in our company with proven systems, with tons of support, resources, everything that you could need if you're willing to get out of your own way. Because if I can come in and now, as a Diamond Ambassador who has been out of the classroom now for 4 years, by the way, we did expand our family. He is the one starting kindergarten, and we're so thankful that we did not let finances rob us from the ability of having little Rhett man running around. You can do this too. If someone would have told me, Christina, when you start this business, that has you scared to death, where you're going to face rejection and people are going to have things to say about that. And not everyone's going to support you, but just know, hang in there, learn and fail forward and be a disaster before you become a master. And one day you're going to earn in a month what you earned your whole first year teaching. If someone would have told me that, I would have been like, what? Say what? But you guys, I'm here to tell you the income potential is limitless. Limitless. And now our family has opportunities. Our family has options. I mean, when your kid comes and says, I'm graduating high school a year early, and I also would like to go to college and live on campus, you just write the check. Just write the check. So, and I loved what Madison said, being able to give out of the overflow. We give more now than, we never, ever saw possible. So you're here because something's not quite right. If everything were perfect in your life and you actually would be satisfied 5 years from now, if nothing changed, you would have never accepted the invite to this event, or you certainly wouldn't be watching the recording. So what I would tell you is be intentional, dial down the fear, dial up the hope, and just consider, what if this could change everything? When you decide that it maybe could, that's the hope that you need to take the first step. And when you're ready to take the first step, you reach out to whoever it was that introduced this event to you, and you say, hey, I'm ready to take that first step. Will you take it with me? Because here, you're never alone. You're never, ever alone. And we will always be here to loan you our belief. We will loan you our hope. We will loan you anything that you need to help you reach your dreams. So, ladies, thank you so much for sharing tonight. Everybody on, guys, we have over 100 people on this event. You guys, people are looking for hope, help, and happiness, and we have a solution. So, hope this landed on some of you guys tonight, and we will see y'all next time. Adios.